Anyway, the police pull up. Oh my god, I was crapping myself. I'm gonna go to prison. I'm gonna be locked up forever. 16-year-old me, scared, was not gonna go to the police station to pick up a fake ID that I'm trying to get into a club with. I thought I was going to go to prison. Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ellie if you're new here. Hi and welcome to my first ever story time. Now I'm really hoping this story time goes well and isn't all over the place. I'm going to try and think back and tell the story well. So yeah, I'm just going to get comfortable. So yeah, as I said, this is my first story time, so sorry if it's a bit mumbly jumbly, but I have so many story times. I feel like this could be a good series, like the story time series. I have a really good one, but it's just so fresh, and I don't know if it's too fresh. Got the people involved, we don't speak anymore, so I don't want, I'm scared. No, I'm scared, I'm not scared, but I just don't know. It's about my friend abandoning me abroad. Okay, it's a whole long story, but I might tell it, maybe I'll leave a few more weeks. But yeah, as you can tell by the title, this story time is all about my first underage night out, and as you can tell, it didn't end well. So yeah, let me just paint the picture a tiny bit for you. I don't know how it comes across on camera, however I am 22 now, so obviously this was a couple of years ago, and I get told every single time I go out, how are you allowed out? I get told all the time that I look 17, so that I'm too young to be out. So 17, even people that know me say, I don't believe how old you are. When I went on holiday, I got it every single day, get her a fruit shoot, blah blah blah, that I look so young. I really don't know how it comes across on camera, but so think about that, this is big to the story. I'm 22 now, so this was 6 years on. So imagine how young I looked back then is basically the point I'm trying to make. If I say I get told I look 17 now, imagine how young I looked when I was 16, 17, which is when this happened. Looking back now, what an idiot. I'm such an idiot. Anyway, so yeah, that's a big key point to the story. Imagine how young I looked. But anyway, I'm just going to start back from the start of the story. So I'm not going to name any names and things like that. They'll just be people. So yeah, I can't remember if it would have been late 16 or early 17. I think it was late 16. I'm pretty sure. So basically, the story begins because me and my best friend at the time, she got a boyfriend. However, he was older. I don't know if he was 18 or 19, but he was a lot older, and she thought if I tell him, I know this is really bad by the way, quick interlude, don't ever lie about your age or anything like that. I'm not promoting this. I'm also not promoting going out underage, and that's not me being oh, I'm PG. It's you have so many years to be a boring adult. Once you hit 18, it's just a spiraling spiral of working, money worries, depression, sadness. So trust me, live your childhood from the age of 18. Imagine how many years you've got to go out and drink. You've got that many years. Enjoy your childhood, because you can never get that back, whereas you can drink for that many years. So yeah, I'm not promoting going out underage, blah blah blah, blah, blah. Anyway, yeah, so back to the story. So yeah, she got a boyfriend that was older than her, and like I said, I can't remember if he was 18 or 19. However, she was worried if she told him she was younger that he wouldn't want to be with her, blah blah blah, I'd think she was too young and all of that jazz. So she said, and bearing in mind, she looked older. It wasn't like me, she actually looked older than she was. So she told him, I can't remember if she told him she was, I think she said she was 18. I'm pretty sure she said she was 18. Yeah, she must have, because that's how the story comes about. So And he lived in Stafford, I live in Birmingham. So he says, oh,
you and your friend come to me for a night out.
Because we were 18, so we could go on a night out. And how was she meant to say no? Like, how was she meant to... I don't know how she would have got out of that, because she said she was 18, which is the legal drinking age, so how would we have got about that? So it come about that me and her decided it would be a great idea to try and go out in Stafford for a night out, when I probably looked about 10. Obviously we had no ID, and the club's by me, especially because obviously we look young. Like, you get ID'd everywhere. Even now to this day I get ID'd everywhere. So we needed ID. Bearing in mind as well, we didn't tell our families and our mum and dad and everyone that we were going out. We said we were going to stay with her sister, who by the way also lives in Stafford, which technically we were, because we did go to her sister's house. I can't remember how we got there, you know. I can't remember, but somehow got there. I don't know if we got a lift or somehow we got to Stafford. So she had a sister that was 18 and they looked so much like each other. Like, it was unbelievable. And she looked older, so she was fine. She was getting in. She looked it was her sister, so, and her sister was 2 years older than her, so it looked so much like her, and she looked older for her age. And then there was me. I was one of them people that was like, yeah, well, let's do anything. Like, I didn't care. So I went along with that, and she says, my sister will lend you her ID. My sister will lend you her ID. Her sister was 24 at the time. I'm not even 24 now. I'm 22. And I was trying to get away with a 24-year-old's ID when I was 16. Looking back now, obviously, like, there's no way. Like, what was I thinking? But anyway, I just thought, let's just go along with it. I don't care. So we got ready to go. I looked horrific. I wasn't even in a dress. Well, I was, but it was like a cheap t-shirt dress, and it looked horrible. But I was going with it. So I took this idea. I was trying to memorise it. I only had like an hour to memorise it as well. And I was thinking, there's no way. So I took a photo of it on my phone. So I was crapping myself. So say the club was here and there was a takeaway here, so we went into this takeaway first to try and like build up the courage, because I was petrified. So we went into this takeaway, and to be fair, we had a laugh in this takeaway with all the workers and things like that. And then he was texting like, come on, where are ya, blah blah blah. So it come to the time where there was no getting out of it. I had to go in there. So we got to the door, and she gave her ID, obviously hers was fine. Then I gave my ID, and he just looked at it. Actually, no, to be fair, he was like, what's your postcode? And I didn't even know, like, I couldn't memorise it at all. So I was literally pretending to text on my phone like this, when really I had the photo up, and I literally was reading the address and everything off my phone. So I read him everything alright, and he just looked at me and was like,
this isn't you.
And I thought the ID looked nothing like me, and I was 16, this ID said 24. So I was like, in my head, I'm not getting away with this. Like, there's no way I'm getting away with this. However, with me, I'm really good. This is like my one talent, at thinking on my feet, like thinking under pressure. I don't like bottle under pressure. I think on my feet, quick. So I thought, I'm not going to be able to get away with saying this is me. And instead, I went down the route of saying, I'm really sorry. Obviously, people say I have a strong Brummy accent. We was in Stafford. So I was like,
I'm so sorry. I've come all the way from Birmingham. I got here and realised I forgot my ID.
Clever. And I was like, so I just thought, I'll use my friend's ID. I was like, I am 18, obviously my friend's 18. I've just come to Stafford with her, but I've left my ID back in Birmingham, so that's the reason I've got a fake ID, because I just thought it's better to come with an ID rather than no ID. He was having none of it. As you can imagine, little 16-year-old me was looking at me like,
You are 10 years old, get back to bed and go and watch the Teletubbies.
Anyway, the police pull up. Oh my god, I was crapping myself. Like, I was crapping myself. However, at the same time, her boyfriend was in there thinking we were 18, thinking, what's the issue? You're 18. So anyway, the police were literally next to me, like stood there, and I was thinking, it's going to call the police, I'm going to go to prison, I'm going to be locked up forever, I'm going to be done for everything. I was panicking. Obviously, looking back now, that's not going to happen, but I was panicking, and I said, okay then, fine, I'll go home and I'll try and get my real ID sent to me or dropped to me. That's not going to happen. I was just trying to get out of it because the police was sort of right there, and I was like, oh, can I just have that ID back to give back to my friend? He said no. He said, if you want to get it, you have to go to the police station tomorrow to pick up the ID. I was not going to go. 16-year-old me, scared, was not going to go to the police station to pick up a fake ID that I'm trying to get into a club with. I thought I was going to go to prison. Anyway, so the police stood there, so I was thinking, I'm not making a commotion here. So I looked to my friend to be like, come on, like, I'm not getting in, we need to leave. However, she was thinking, I can't tell my boyfriend that we didn't get in because we're 16, because I've told him we're 18. So I was left on my own in Stafford, never been there before, don't know where I am. This is the first time I'd ever met her sister. I literally had nothing on me. I was 16, I had no money. Like, I had just enough money for this night out. I was crapping myself. So anyway, as I said, we'd just been to that takeaway. I ran back down to the takeaway on my own because she'd gone into the club and left me. Ran back down to the takeaway, literally crapping myself. I rang my dad and I was like, Dad, I've tried to use fake ID to get in a club and they found out what's going to happen. And my dad is, if you know my dad, he's, well, you don't know my dad, but my dad is the most laid back person ever. And he was just like, he was making a joke of it, and he's like, you need to run, you're going to go to prison, run before they catch you. And I was like, what? He was obviously just joking, but I was like, what am I going to do? And he couldn't come and get me because he'd had a drink as well. So I was just stranded in this takeaway in Stafford, thinking I was going to get arrested and go to prison, and I just didn't know what to do. I was just on my own and I was scared. So I rang a taxi. Obviously I had the sister's address on my phone because I took a picture of the ID. So I rang a taxi. Well, the takeaway people gave me a taxi number and I rang a taxi. Oh no, sorry, there was a picture, like a taxi advertisement in the takeaway. So I rang that and went back to her sister's and was like, I didn't get in, I'm scared. And obviously I'd just lost her ID, so I was panicking going back to her to tell her, sorry, you're going to have to buy a new ID because I've just got yours taken off me, unless you want to go back to the police station. So I was panicking as well about seeing her because that's the first time I'd ever met her, and then I'd lost her ID. Anyway, so I went back to hers and I was crapping myself. And my friend was texting me like, don't worry, we'll only be here for a bit, I'll think of an excuse to leave. And then we'll come and pick you up and we'll go back to his house, blah, 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 and we'll just have a drink there. And to be fair, she did. She was literally gone for like an hour. I don't know what her excuse was, but they come and picked me up in a taxi and we went back to his. The story doesn't end there. We went back to, he was at uni, by the way, I don't know if I said that, but he was at uni, so there was uni flats. So we was drinking with everyone from his uni. Next thing I know, I come on my period. And little 16-year-old unplanned prepared me obviously didn't bring anything with me. I didn't want to say to all these people that I don't even know and I'd never even met, oh, I've come on my period. And they're all boys, so it's not like they would have had anything on them. So I was there bleeding while all them were drinking, and I was panicking, thinking when I was going to go to prison, and now I'm bleeding everywhere. So I was in the toilet like trying to get loads of tissue, thinking we need to leave. But I didn't want to make a scene, so yeah, I was like grabbing loads of tissue. And anyway, in the end, I was like to my friend, like, we need to leave. And we went back to her sister's, blah blah blah. And yeah, I can't remember what happened. I don't think she went and collected the ID. I don't know if I was meant to borrow a new one, but I didn't, because like I said, 16-year-old me had no money. And yeah, I just was petrified for like a month after that, thinking they're going to hunt me down, track me down and send me to prison for the rest of my life. And yeah. So moral of the story is just wait till you're 18 to go out. Trust me, it's not worth it going out underage, because one, because like I say, just live your childhood, and two, because you might get caught and crap yourself like me. So yeah, that was my little scary story time. I don't know how good it was or if it was even interesting, but I just thought it's a fun little story time to share. Like I said, I've got so many more, and the flight one, the holiday one, is kind of still ongoing. That's why I don't want to do it now, but it's so interesting and like I just don't like confrontation. So if they see the video and then I've got to go for the confrontation of like, yeah, you made a video on me, but it's not lies, like I'd only be telling the truth. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you do enjoy story times, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and yeah, I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye. Don't drink underage, kids.